Hi, this is Cassidy. I'm with Totem Valley Bison Company. Thanks for tuning in. We raise a number of animals here at Totem Valley, and for us, grain finishing is a huge part to preparing these animals for their sale and for butcher. We're able to buy oat baleage, which is a type of haylage, and the bison have really done well on that. We buy that for about $80 a bale. Continual oat hay, the occasional alfalfa bale, and they have free choice to natural grasses. It does help to roll out the hay. They seem to utilize it a little bit better, and it doesn't burn your ground. A bit of a larger herd at the moment, which means they go through that bale about 3 or 4 days. We ration our animals with a high protein, high fiber intake, low starch. I personally don't believe in high starch feed. If it's high in sugars, high in starch, my animals don't get it. This is for a number of reasons. Calves, that gets away with them great. But bison, they don't do very well in the high starch, high sugars. We keep a creep feeder out the back of this pasture for calves. That way they can begin to wean themselves away from the cows. It's in the front of the creep feeder that's so tall it only allows for just the calves to go in. That way we can readily control how much intake the cow gets for their grain. And it saves our pocketbook. When you have your creep feeder set out and your hay continual to your cows, the bison calves will start to wean themselves. We don't find it necessary to pull off calves from their mother like cattle. And more stress, it puts them in bigger risk for getting sick, it puts them in a bigger risk for fading syndrome and for fevers. It also puts you at a bigger risk for your fence being run through by that mama cow looking for her calf. The greatest things about these bison is that they will wean themselves. It's super beneficial for your pocketbook and for these animals' weights to keep out a protein lick tub. We get a 20% low molasses concentrated lick tub. Last but not least, the biggest thing to remember is that bison are high in protein. So when you're growing weight, you're building protein on these animals. For the body to make adequate muscle, it needs phosphorus, magnesium, and potassium. So it is in your best interest to keep out an adequate mineral supply. That's out here for continual access to the calves and for the cows. Our animals are on a smaller amount of pasture. This allows them to focus on resting, which means gaining. But this method wouldn't work if you're feeding high starch or high sugar diets, because your animals will be too hyper to stay in. We're very excited to bring you along with us for our first annual yearly sale. Please join us as this video continues.
I'm coming in hot.